We just had an absolutely amazing month in the capital city of Tirana, Albania. We spent the entire month of July there, and we are going to dive into all of our expenses, every single penny that it cost us to be there for the month of July. We break down our costs into several different categories, but before we get to that, I just want to talk a little bit about Tirana and why we chose Albania. So when you come into Europe, most of the countries are in what's called the Schengen zone. You're only allowed 90 out of 180 days into the Schengen. So we needed to get out because we had spent our 90 days there. So we decided to go into Albania. Albania, for people with a U.S. passport, is visa-free entry, and you can stay for up to 12 months. And it's an excellent, affordable choice to just go spend some time exploring that country before you head back into the Schengen. If you watched our cost of living video for Saranda, Albania, one of the things that we highlighted was the drastic increase in prices during the summertime, during their high season. Now, when we were in Tirana, it was the month of July, so it was their high season. But one thing that I didn't notice was that drastic increase in prices in grocery stores. And I mean, accommodations were a little bit more, but nothing like we saw in Saranda, was it?
No. Mm-mm.
So it's an excellent choice for the summer, but beware. It is really hot in the summertime in Tirana. We had temperatures that were around 100 degrees almost every day, and there was some pretty thick humidity out there. So just keep that in mind if you are planning a trip to Tirana in the summer. All right, so with that, we are going to dive right into our first category. Our first category is restaurants. Now, if you have watched any of our other cost of living breakdown videos, you will know one of our favorite things to do is go out to eat, explore the area that we're in, immerse ourselves in the culture, the food. So our restaurant category is typically pretty high. Now, with that being said, we understand that everything that we're going to talk about today, that is our budget. That is what we spend. You can absolutely do this for much less, and you can easily do this for much more. But this is just within our budget, the budget that we set for ourselves. So the restaurants in Tirana were really, really good. I think what I loved about Tirana is it had that big city feel like Chicago or New York City. It had the good food to go along with it, but it wasn't that big of a city, and people were really, really nice. We ended up going out to some really great restaurants, had some really great food, and the total for our restaurant budget definitely reflects that. So for restaurants, our total for the month of July came out to $943. We went out to eat a lot. Now, one thing that we get asked about quite often is vegetarian options. And one thing that I can say from our experience, the 2 months that we had in Albania, is that there's a ton of fresh produce, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. Albania really brought it when it came to a lot of the vegetarian options. So if you are a vegetarian or even a vegan, you're going to have no problem finding incredible things to eat while you're in Tirana.
We did go out to eat quite a bit. However, our Airbnb had a wonderful kitchen.
Yeah, it did.
So we were able to make quite a few meals at home too. And the grocery stores we found were very accommodating. There was a lot of the things that we recognized. There was a lot of stuff to help us make some of the comfort food meals that we make while we're traveling. I enjoyed cooking in this kitchen quite a bit. So our grocery bill also was a little hefty this month as well. And I'm not sad about that because I enjoy cooking.
We got really lucky. Right outside the door of our Airbnb was a full service grocery store, which just made us absolutely love that location. And again, for all of you veggie and produce and fresh fruit lovers, there were like little farmers markets or produce stands set up all over the city. You couldn't walk probably 2 or 3 blocks without finding one. And we had one right next to our place. It was incredible. We loved it.
Our grocery bill for the month of July while we were in Tirana came to $590 total.
This brings us to our next category, which is our recurring costs. Every month, no matter where we go, we always have these costs, and that includes our life insurance policy, our health insurance, our Netflix subscription, and our VPN. So Melissa and I both have health insurance coverage back in the United States, but that coverage does not cover us in all the countries that we're going to as we're traveling across the world. So that we have peace of mind, and so that we have coverage while we are doing all the activities that we love to do and wherever we are going, we use Safety Wing. Safety Wing insurance does not cover pre-existing conditions, but it does cover you in case you get sick, if you get injured, or any type of accident. So it's really nice to have that peace of mind. Now, Safety Wing costs Melissa and I both total about $143 every single month. And that will go up as we get older, unfortunately, but it's only $143 per month. While you are out traveling, you are going to want to have a VPN service. There are a lot of them out there, but the one that we chose to go with is Surfshark. Surfshark VPN, it just masks your identity and your data while you're doing online banking, especially at some of these, public Wi-Fi spots or in the airport. It also makes it so that we can make Netflix think that we're in the US so that we can continue to watch all of our programming. We use it to sometimes find better priced airfare or hotels by changing the different country. So we highly recommend a VPN. I will leave a link for Surfshark and Safety Wing down in the description of this video if you want to check either one of those out. For our cell phones, we did not keep a US plan. It is just way too expensive for what we were going to be doing. So what we both do is we use the app called Airalo. And I will also leave a link down in the description. It'll get you $3 off if you want to use that eSIM. And what that does is it gives us data. We can make our calls, we can use Google Maps, we can do all of that. And that runs each one of us about $13 per month. All of that every single month runs us about $270.
Usually our entertainment budget is kind of low, but this month we decided to go a little ham. We had, first of all, our entertainment budget includes any tours that we may have done, going out for drinks gets put into our entertainment budget, and we did a couple of things this month that we don't normally do. We took a gondola to the top of a mountain,
yes,
which scared me pretty good. But
she almost pooped her pants.
It was amazing. It was so beautiful. Thoroughly recommend that one. The view is spectacular from the top of Tirana. What goes up must come back down. It's an incredible view. I am so glad that we chose to do this.
Yeah.
But it makes me want to poop my pants just a little bit. Freaks me out. We also had the opportunity to go through Bunk Art 2, which was just a very beautiful way that the city of Tirana has preserved some Albanian history through the dictatorship that happened there in the area. And I'm really glad that we were able to go through that. I highly recommend it. It was respectfully done, and I feel very educated as a tourist being able to experience that. And finally, what also goes into our entertainment budget is shots of Rocky, which we happened to have the pleasure of having many shots of Rocky thanks to a certain bartender there in the city that we met. Our final total for the month came to $417.
Let's talk about transportation in Albania. The only time that we paid for any type of transportation was when we took a taxi from the airport to our accommodation and from our accommodation back to the airport when we flew out. And the total for that came to about $24 for both trips combined. Now let's talk about the walkability of Tirana. Tirana, in our opinion, other than it was really hot in the month of July, is a very, very walkable city. There are sidewalks pretty much all over the place, and they were in pretty good condition.
Everything was very accessible.
Yeah, there were big crosswalks crossing some of the main streets. So as far as walkability of Tirana, I would say it is extremely walkable. Get out there and explore that city. So like I mentioned, the total for transportation for this month came to $24 US.
We really enjoyed our Airbnb this time around. It was so incredibly comfortable. We stayed in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath accommodation that was right in the heart of the city. Our location was phenomenal. We were up a couple of floors, so we had just this beautiful view of the mountains and the city surrounding us. Everything was so comfortable. The bed and the couch was amazing. All the appliances were fabulous. The kitchen was fully stocked. We were right next to a grocery store, which we loved. And I'm just so thankful for that accommodation. This was one of our favorites that we've stayed in.
Yeah, we loved it. And the host, Viola, was absolutely amazing. She was so quick to respond. The Wi-Fi was fantastic. So if you're going to work from home, it was incredible. We loved that place.
And a couple of the days, we actually kept the air conditioning cranked. So it was so comfortable in our Airbnb. We spent just a little bit more on this accommodation than we normally do every single month. And so our total for the month came to $1,282.
All right, so before I give the grand total for everything, I just want to, again, thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button. That like button does wonderful things for the algorithm of YouTube, and it really helps us out. It helps us to continue to bring these videos to you. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because Melissa and I are, obviously, we are not in Albania anymore. If you can tell from behind us, we are in the United Kingdom. We are getting ready to set off on a tour through the United Kingdom. We're going to spend a week in London. We're heading up for a 3-week road trip through the Scottish Highlands and visiting Edinburgh. We have a lot planned. We have a lot of videos coming your way. So please hit that subscribe button and that like button. With that being said, our grand total for the month of July in the city of Tirana, Albania, came to $3,526 for the both of us for everything. And that breaks down to $1,763 per person.
Thank you so much for following along with us. Stay tuned because we have lots of adventures still to come.